right. What happened? That snapped off to the side there. Anyways, I do talk to myself, by the way. uh, I'm found the hidden formats of the first writer's words that are in the Hebrew text. Let me put this over here and show you the format that I'm talking about. I have two major words connected with the least amount of small words as I can. And then what happens is these become verses, and then this in a 3-verse format. This will be like a statement. These two connect together as to define the statement, and together that kind of separates it from this text here as far as like the description you see here. And this is what I would call a small paragraph for people to understand. And then what they did when they wrote two of them like that together, close enough to define both as one group, that's kind of like a large paragraph. 3,000 years ago, or 2,800 years ago, they called this a psalm, and they wrote in psalms. And in Jeremiah chapter 36, you can find the word column, and that is when a scribe read what Isaiah had wrote, or had his scribe write. That scribe thought it was important to take it to the king, and as he was reading 3 or 4 columns, and you can see I have columns, and this is what I'm saying is what I proved. Now, what I'm doing is putting the book together. I'm pretty sure that's what the name of the book is going to be. These are the books that I'm putting together, and that's because these are the books that define like what the kings did and what the prophets did, and it actually gives us a timeline of the story of what goes on here. Now, here, whoops, what I've done is I want to, forgot to set this up. Okay, and I want to go down. I want to get back to where I was at, so I use a file finder to get to the text. Now this is what I'm putting together right now, and these are going to be all the laws that I can put together in one group and just make it one chapter. Or when you search through this book, through the table of contents, you'll see this listing, and then I'm still adding to this. So if I click on this again, I'm back to where I started here. So if I take, this is what the chapter is going, or this defining, or this text is like a quick summary of what's going to be explained here. And what I'm doing is just going to go back up. Oops. Oh, I hate that. I want to forget to take it out of that group, you know. Back here, I come down here. Brother dies without a son. Okay, I've already done that then. But if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I have the comments here hidden behind me, so they're right on screen, so I will get to them quickly. But what I'm doing is I'm editing the text and trying to make sure that the text I have is in the best order that I can. And sometimes the words need to be adjusted, or the last time I edited something that it was confusing and I got carried away, and I might have left words in here that like a double of or a double the in the verse. So The other thing is I'm trying to make sure that every verse has just only two major words and correcting it from there. So what I usually do is just start reading this and editing it. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm recording it for history. So there's this record of what I've done. So if anybody says, well, he did this, I'm literally telling everybody why I did this. So this is about when a brother dies without a son, and this has to be known if you understand the story about Hannah. So, and she gives birth to Samuel, who is a prophet. When a brother dies and has no son, the wife of the deceased is to marry with one of her husband's brothers to honor his brother. Now, these gray words I've had to add, but that's the story of the text needs to be corrected here, because this is how our Creator was saying that when the two become one, that then when they're given their land for inheritance, this is the way our Creator wanted to make sure that the descendant from the married two becomes the inheritor of that land. So the land is not given back or away. Our Creator said not to sell the land. So this is what this text is about. To honor his brother for her to birth him a son and reestablish his name, not to be wiped out from Israel. If the brothers do not desire to marry with his wife, then his wife will go to the elders and say, I have been refused to reestablish the name of his brothers in Israel by not willing to honor him. I think the word honor was used above here, so yes, right here. So that's how you can see why I used words that from the story to continue when they're missing. Here I've made this completely up because this needs a second psalm to tie it together. So, and I don't know why my voice is raspy. I haven't had anything to eat, which usually affects that you can't talk for an hour right after, like what I'm doing here. Sometimes what you eat affects your throat. I found like orange juice. Boy, that's not good for me anyway. Having honey on toast. No, you don't want to do that either. But then the elders will summon him and speak to him. Then a wife goes to the elders and says, I've been refused. If the brothers do not desire, summon them. This has to be them. So that's been an error on my part. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to make sure that if I have 1 million people read this, there's going to be some smart people out there that say, wait a minute, I'm looking over your text and you've got all kinds of errors. So what you see here, I'm trying to edit and get rid of those errors here. And if they do not take her in, then she will come to them in a sight of the he'll sight of the waters and pull off their sandal. And the text doesn't really tell me which sandal it is, the right or the left. And that's, I know that would be a question for people to try to get the symbolic meaning of the text. And our Creator didn't worry about making it symbolic. But just take off a shoe or a sandal and throw it in his face, and will declare, this is to be done to that male who does not honor the law from Wyvie. I should change this from me, because they did write some text of our Creator as being first person, and truly you need him to be the second most important or first important word in this verse here. So I'm keeping to the format, and does not honor the law from me of our land inheritance. The law from me for their land of inheritance. Pushing the wrong buttons, I don't do anything here. Okay. Now this, I need to come back here, grab this, put this here. Law for marrying females. Needing the proof. Stoning. To rape is death. Control copy, put that here. I want to go up. Back here. If a male receives a wife and marries with her and turns against her by shameful deeds, or publicly dishonors her, saying she is not a virgin, the daughter's parents can bring out proof of their daughter's virginity. I have to add the word pure. Now, why am I adding this? Because she's gonna, I put it here as well. I forgot to do it here. So the girl's parents can bring out proof of the daughter's virginity to the elders nearby and say to the elders, he is saying she is not a pure virgin. But here is the proof, and they'll bring a spread out, and they will spread out her sleep bedding before them. Then the elders will beat the male with a rod to punish him. Now, what they're doing is bringing out a bed that would have markings of a woman having a period. So this is what this is talking about here. And she will remain, that's why I said pure. If pure, that there would be nothing there, and that's what the proof was. That's why they're going to beat him with a rod. And she will remain his wife, and he cannot divorce her all his days. Now, this text has to be written after Moses wrote that divorce can happen. Which is interesting. I've been putting this text as a 7 point, and that's why it fits. But if the claim is true, so this is to prevent the pure virgins from being rejected forever. So this is by the way, when women don't release their seed and stay a pure virgin, they actually don't age very fast. They remain youthful looking. And I'm just saying it just so for you to know. But if this claim is true, that their daughter had married, they will bring her out to the road and stone her to death because she has committed an act of foolishness by partaking. Is that a word, or did I make that up? I might have added that to my dictionary. An act of foolishness by partaking in adultery while at their home. But this seems to be but the claim is about they're using the word virginity wrong. If a male receives a wife and marries her, and it turns out against her, shameful deeds will dishonor her, saying she is not a virgin. parents bring out virginity and near neighbors, near elders nearby, saying she's not a virgin, meaning that she's already committed the act of adultery here. But here is the proof, and they'll spread out her sleep bedding before them. Then the elders will beat the male. The text here is pretty much, this is common. You don't need to have them write everything what's going on, but that's now she will remain his wife, and he cannot divorce her all his days. But if the claim is true, their daughter had married, they will bring her out. But if this claim is true, and that their daughter these two can't go together. This is odd. This has to say there is a group missing right here. But if this is true, the claim that their daughter had married, they will bring her out to the road and stone her to death because she has committed an act of foolishness by partaking in adultery while at their home. If a male is found without marrying with a married female, then both of them will die to remove that evilness from Israel. If a male marries, I forgot to check the audio, and I seen something blink over here on my screen that I'm keeping track of. If the stream is still going on different platforms. Married by forcing her, only he will die. So these are like separate subjects. How would I do that? You know, I was just thinking I might be able to put set all these off so when people are reading they would understand. I think they could read, taste, and understand the difference. trying to make it very convenient for people, because if I offset them, the reader, when looking down, had seen that, okay, I've read this before, or this is different subject, that's different subject, this is different subject, and then looking for that way. I have to think about that. If a male marries by forcing her, only he will die. A rapist. You will not do nothing to the female then, for she has not sinned. Um, so I'm saying this text was written before text above. So I need to put that in here, or move this. Which means I need to get out a few more books here. Okay. I gotta move it in this one. This is all my editing for that, what you've seen there. So there's all this editing I'm doing will be added to that text. So what I want to do is take this divorce. It's written above, so this needs to be here. This word here needs to be copied. And I better be, Moses was law of divorce. Oh, give me a second here. I gotta correct the other book. Gotta move this text to where it belongs. So it's Deuteronomy 24. Okay. The lawn guy is going by here, so I'm trying to keep the mic closed. There will not be found among you anyone using divination, or who practices witchcraft, or who has a or who is a sorcerer, or caster of spells, or a conjurer or spiritualist who calls up the dead. You will kill them and be blameless. For those who practice these crafts, wife does not allow to be with you with them. The male marries with a female version. Wife is not allowed. He will not allow a diviner to live. He will stone them to death. Who marries with an animal or causes them to marry, be stoned to death. Who sacrifices to any god, they are to be stoned to death. He will not wrong the traveler in the land where you were travelers in Egypt. He will not harm harmful who cry to me. If you lend money to the poor among you, he will not charge them extra. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this because I've read that and I know that that's already written up there. This text, though, this is the text that our Creator politely says they're unclean. So when they had them kill off these people going into the promised land, this is why. This is what was going on. So it also means incest as well was going on. So let's see here. And she has to be a diviner. So this can't exist. This word is wrong. Diviner. See, I'm going to add that word. Get rid of this word. You will not allow the diviner to live. You will stone him to death. Actually, these two are connected. This gets separated. And so this here, this is what I want to go here, but maybe I should write it out. And these words would be any man committing adultery, and it's not spelled right. Or same, or same likeness. That would be faggots. Any man committing adultery. Or same likeness. And who marry, get rid of that word, or marries with an animal, committing adultery, or same likeness, or marries with an animal, or causes them to marry, will be stoned to death. This is already there. This is already in the text above, I believe. See how individual these are? Because this is already. Uh, Gotta pull it over here so I can see it. See, strangers has already been missed. Is there? I'm gonna leave that text in. And they must have had a book of laws. And they just quickly would make or a scroll of laws for teaching or quickly looking up, kind of like the way you would archive in today's rooms. This court assign it a number and then file it and say we can use this information in another case because of the rulings. So these would be like the rulings that would be listed. Just to let you know, that's what my thoughts are on really on being able to tell where the text came from, even though it says what in Exodus, um, it would be written in the book of laws. Okay. You not follow a crowd to do evil or stop his justice, nor will you be partial to the poor in a dispute or righteousness. Okay, now here, even though this I'm taking out, I should put it back in, and I'll get rid of this. Because, like, I know it's just a listing of things. This needs to be connected to this one. These two are then connected. So if I get rid of this, it's there for next time. or who sacrifices to any god, they will be stoned to death. You will not wrong a traveler in the land, for you were travelers in Egypt. You will not harm a widow or orphan, or I will hear their cry to me. Okay, I think the mower is gone now, so I want to make sure this word goes here. By the way, this would be a hole in the ground, probably as deep as they could do a small one, and then put a seat above it and leave the shovel there, and then the dirt that they dug out they would use to fill up or cover it up. Uh, so man, there's a lot more than I thought, but then again somebody said there's over 600 of them. Yes. Let's see, what do I got here? Okay, this is going to be the end of the laws. So this I'm done with. Okay. Okay, now we're finally leaving the promised land here. And this was the text that I moved earlier. I could put Isaac as well here, but uh, I guess it's more important to have Israel. This, because this is here, I don't need this anymore. Oh, my memory's not really great, but I think that I gotta check this date with the other dates, but that can't be done now. That's a lot of searching. Aaron is dying, and he will be gathered to his fathers. Now this is important. This can't be a very big hill. Well, it could be. You're trying to let 400,000 people see. So maybe it is larger than I think in here. No, he's not wearing a breastplate because he's outside of the courtyard. Okay. That's the best I can think of right now. Okay. Because this is all about I don't need this. Oh, wait a second. Okay, now I can grab this. I'm going to give them more time. When I'm reading these, I am really thinking of everything that I know in the text. And what I know right here about this story is that how many miles they got to travel. How you doing? I see you just commented. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of just editing the hidden formats in the Bible's Hebrew text that I found. So it's getting near to the end. I put all the books together that I feel that are needed to explain the kings and their existence of life as a nation, and then I'm going to add Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John to the end of this. This is going to be a book that'll be completely from beginning to end. Like you can see, I'm using this from Numbers, and then this one here was from Numbers 20, part 3. So 20 ended up having 3 parts or 3 different stories in it, and this is one of the stories here. So just letting you catch up there real quick what I'm doing, and I'm pretty much recording this for history, but if you got any question about any verse, let me know. I will explain even a proverb to you. They were gone for 30 days, and when they returned from spying out the land, this means promised land colored in purple like that. Anything of our Creator's possession or His words. They too went to Moses. Let's see, when they return from the spy. So there's 12 guys traveling. Some of them didn't travel a lot. Let me see. I need a map to think what I'm doing here. When he went and sent out spies, this is the hill. They stopped here. This is saying this is Amalek's by the text just read. It could be this hill as well. I'm going to have to probably change that from here to here. Although people live by the river, so I'm thinking this would have been okay. Anyways, now they went through here. They probably went up higher, but 30 days for, if this is to here is from here to here, that's 60 miles zigging, zagging back and forth. Yes, that would be 30 days would be better. Because if they're rushing in that, they're trying to learn about the people. So I'm happy with that. They went to Moses, and he summoned their commanders for the tribes for Israel, for them to hear their words. And they told all of them, they went into the land, and wherever we went, it had springs, and it is plentiful. And it is plentiful. Our the people living in the land are stronger and have weapons, and they are bigger than us. First, there are the Amaleks living in the land, living in their land. That's whom they've seen. So, this is describing Amalek, like these two verses have to go around each other for the simple fact, no, it would be a discouragement that, yeah, these two need to be stuck in different. So I'm going to move this up. Move. So this will not be here, it'll be now here. And this, oops, this is going to be 8 point. Now move it. This. First there are those living in the land and the hill country. Then this has to be then. Then in the hill country. Let's see, this is, I'm adding, removing first in the Amalekites living in their land, then in the hill country of Canaan, are from the sea to the river. However, the people living in the land are stronger and have weapons, and they are bigger than us. Okay, now see, this is a 3-verse here, or a 4-verse here, and a 3-verse here. This is how they did it to change subjects when they're in their writing. I can find a few of these like this, but I'm thinking they should all have been wrote like this if we had the original text. Then Caleb quieted the spies, and before them he said, we should by all means take possession of it, for we will surely overpower them. The spies said, we are not able to battle them, for their males are too big for us. This needs to be taken out in the story to continue. It has 2 groups to make a larger paragraph. Now let's see here. Now the commanders grumbled at Moses, are we all to die in this land, and our wives and children become their plunder? Yeah, they were designated, so he was picked for Simon's. I think I should use the same word. I want the word forgive to mean forgiven of sin. That's its main purpose for the word forgive, especially when a creator says it. Now that would mean when a lot of people see this land right here being designated by him, or given to him, what I want to do is click on here to say that's 20 miles. And that's 20 miles. Trying to think of how they actually started searching. What would have been that they could separate it and then met up again? Because if they traveled, if he only stayed here, I've got the 30 days wrong. If it takes him 10 days at the most, Judah, they had to travel together. But Caleb must have said, I'm just going to go do this. You guys start over here and you're going to go back and forth, and I'm going to do this real quick. Or they were all went out searching and Caleb did this. And then they moved forward as a group coming up through here. Now, why they didn't go any farther is because Lebanon is actually Shem's descendants. So that's why they didn't conquer any more land north of this river. This, if I got them traveling this plus this distance here, and this, if I've got this right, this is what, 100 miles, 120 miles. So I think 30 would be the right number. I don't know. Can't even think of why there's text missing here. What would be said is more or less not, it's not. I know it's missing, but this is 15 and this was, well, this was 17, so I'm backing up. Actually, I can get rid of this. I think that would be the best. They know that this is already, we know this is what's going on. He's leading them to the promised land. I forgot to do this. Okay. From their rivers, Moses sent message. See, this says from their rivers, and I guess I guess I'm including this as their rivers as ownership. I don't know what the land looked like or how far the Sinai desert went up into here. But it's very easy to defend by having people all across here for the easiest travel. And this would be the Arabs, the way they would travel. They would have come across through here from lower, what we call Saudi Arabia today. And anyone come from Egypt, they would probably take this path. He's taking them on this path. So yeah, I guess it depends on how back farther this might not be theirs. This might be theirs. And this hill that Aaron was taken to, this is going to be the same where they're going to battle them as well. So it could probably be this mountain here, this hill, not mountain, hill. From their rivers, all this. It's just in my mind that I want to, when I'm making these maps, I'll see the other one first. I'll try to decide what I can remember, but when I come down here, I have to re-evaluate what I know above or with the map, because I'm redrawing all the maps in order as I read the text, and we'll be inserting them. Sent messenger to the ruler for Amaleks, and they said to, these would be the messengers, and they said to this leader, don't have his name, we are your brothers from Israel, and you know our history. When I try to tell people that Noah landed here, and then when we have the story about this land being Shem's by Jacob being sent past these rivers, we know that this here is now Shem's land. This has to be Canaan's, and down here is Japheth's. As what you can see, though, later at this time, Canaan has pushed his brother up into Lebanon, and then he's also pushed Japheth's down. So Japheth's descendants would be the Amaleks. Okay, so that's understanding we are your brothers and know our history. Now Wivey has brought us out from Egypt, and now we are by your rivers. I'm gonna check this. Okay, this one looks like it's sent from. Okay, it was from the park. Sent out a message to us. It's about the guys on the lawn. Yeah, they want us to. They're knocking on the doors to get it as good as they can, because I imagine the owners are the ones that are taking care. They're really good, and they've done some things I don't like, but they've done a lot of good things, more than not what I like. But they really keep this park clean, and so I think what they did was said it's time for a major cleaning before everybody comes back down. So in a park where people have homes, mobile homes, but uh, snowbirds, we call them, they fly back and forth, and when it gets cold up there, they come down. Ivy has brought us out from Egypt, and now we are by your rivers that are the borders for your land. Please let us pass through your land. Let me see something here. I'm just curious. Let me grab. And just for the sake of, um, I want to go to Google Images, land. They got them down here. Yeah, well, this is at least, um, I don't know. Here we go. Um, this one, look, I'm sorry. I just realized this is not, oh, that'll spread out too far. What I did was I started clicking on the maps, and like they want to describe this as Amalek's, and yet they didn't say it passed the river. I don't have enough information there. But here I know the Dead Sea. Let me see if I do this right. What is this? Um, where is? Oh, I don't have that up. I've got a magnifying glass on the computer here. Let me see if I can do this and then switch it to magnifier. Nope. Okay, that ain't gonna work. But they got the Amalex more in the correct position here. Here seems to be they knew about the rivers. So let's go visit this site. Oh, I hate when they do this. Okay. Site that's available. This is where it would be nice if it was blowing up more. They got the elm too far. So we got them down here. Okay. Well, not enough good images here. So they've got my maps are better than their maps for Amalek's. Or through your yards. And what happened here? What happened? Oh, I must have. That's the more correct word. They don't need to be worried about their damn grapevines like everybody doesn't have it. It's a lot of work. You have to be wealthy to do that. You need servants. Um, pass on the highway. Now that the highway is the path that I was showing you. Hello? Hello? You think you get spammers? Okay, then I better shut my phone for the day. Come on. Hello? I was explaining the highway. See how the rivers meet and how they got to pass through. So somehow they had a bridge up here, or I don't have this river connect. The river isn't connected. I got something wrong. Anyways, there's this path that they can take through this land of Israel, and this is the highway, the major road that goes through. So if you're looking for a road that's been traveled for maybe 4,000 years, that is it. Um, okay, now battle the Amaleks. Whoops. Let's see. I still got it. No, that's right. I did that. I need that. When Amalek came to battle against Israel, Moses told us, our army will battle against Amalek, and I will stand on the top of that hill with my walking stick. Then, as I raise it, we will battle them. So Moses and Aaron has already died, so this doesn't make sense here. I can't spell Eleazar, so I gotta look for it. And I think I'm gonna have this repeat a couple times here. It doesn't say they lost, and that's what's missing here in the text. And that's just sad to have what had happened. And you know that the battle had to happen because they're going to come back. Saul is going to go battle him, and so is David. So let's buy the. Okay. So actually, I need this. I thought that story was going to be a lot more involved. I'm thinking that's the end of Amalek's land. So this one's done. So this has to be at the next one. It'd be here. I was offline. Yeah, I might have been for a while, and I come back. Uh, because I'm doing so much with my hands get hurt, and I can't get to doing a lot of things. And welcome back, by the way. Hope you're having a good day. Um, I've done probably about an hour, almost 2 hours today. So I've only had one other visitor so far from Kick. I guess I should be showing the chat now and get rid of this. So, but hammering at it. I'm on page 52 now. So, thus my wife is asking. This is Amalek's time. I should fill you in here where I'm at, so because I know you, I don't want you not to know what I'm talking about here. Um, oh man, this is, yeah, I went back to Noah's time here. Oh, that's too far. That's to David's time. Okay. I was just got done talking about the spies being sent out. And by the way, the text is, I'm writing this, I'm going to have to change this hill to this one here. And then this here is not going to be Amalek's land in the next time I edit the text. And what they're going to do is they've lost the battle, so they got to go around here and come up to Edom's. So they're going to travel and come across here. So this is, no, this one. I got to move all this battle lines to here and just say, because they had to stay near water to be actually camped. And that would make sense. No, I might have it right here, because if they went to battle, they wouldn't stay here by their children. They would have moved here, and they wouldn't have battled. They'd have to battle on the open plain. But if they came out, they'd have to battle them here. So I'm seeing the battle here. I'm seeing uh, Moses and Eleazar here for that battle. And then they would travel from here down here. Because this, I don't think, is very large in mileage. So these are 10 miles. They had to walk 5 miles to battle. That doesn't make sense. To go from here to here would make sense. And then they battle them in here, but that'd be the closest hill that he could be seen from. And they would have formed lines out here. He wouldn't have gone across into their back. Yeah, okay, that's what's going to happen. This is where the battle's going to be. So this mention here is all got to change up to here, according to the text. All right, have a great day. Sorry, I was trying to make sure everything was right in my head. But yeah, fine and dandy. Glad to have you stop by. Appreciate the interest. Um, yeah, this is going to So this is going to have a comma here. Raul is father by law. I got to take a look at that. I don't think I've corrected all the text, and that's the way I want it to be. So add that to my list of things to search the whole book. Okay. Um, so it's not his father-in-law. In other words, it's a relative by law. Your son would not separate you from your son as to call him a father. That's just, I don't see that that's how they um, lived at that time. And this camping of their mount has to be right here. Because I'm thinking this is the mount all here. I'm thinking this has got to be, this can't be hill country. This has got to be going down into a valley. So they can't buy it. They had to be around water. See, yeah, because they have to be with Edom first, and then they're going to go fight Moab and Ammon's. Okay. And there we traveled to the other side of it, for the desert becomes the border for Moab and a border of Ammon to the Jordan and the lake. At the bottom of the mount to the rivers in the valley as the land for Moab. Then Moses sent messengers, the ruler, let us pass through your land. We will not turn off into your fields. We will not drink water from your wells. We will travel on the highway. Now this highway is the one from Damascus, and I haven't really put one in here, but there's going to be a road that's going to be has to be close to getting water from time to time. So there's going to be this path here that's going to be, this is the highway on this side. Okay, so and I want to put your highway that's separate from the other land. So this would be better to be said your highway. And that way when people do a search, they'll see your highway, what's that mean? And then they'd have to read it and say, okay, yes. And look at the map. I'm not sure that, I think this is where they chased them a little bit farther than Amos, because the description of their land, it seems to be this break in this area. And this highway wouldn't go here. You would have to take roads going down here. So when I make this highway, it's to be along the wilderness edge. Wilderness is the land that looks like it's near the desert, where there's going to be like a small spot of green with a tree, and the tree is going to be windswept, so there's not a lot of leaves to it. And then sand around this little island with a little green, and then this starts actually going to where green would always be, where everything is green. The desert hasn't claimed yet. This area is called the wilderness. So you know when they battled them by the wilderness, it's on or by this highway road that they said, well, we're coming anyway, and here's the road, and then they're on that road in case they didn't come out to battle. I think I'm going to have to change the maps from what I'm reading here. Here is another good example of putting his words into his mouth. Now that would go towards against the Trinity. So that is a note that I need to put here. And what book is this found in? Numbers 22. Look to see if I missed any more of that. How we communicated with him. Maybe told him, so he's seen our Creator face to face. Or his words came to his head. But this is the oddest prophet in the book. and lets us know things that are not written in the text otherwise, that our Creator was communicating through different males, even over here in the other territory. Or the other on the other side of Jordan. So yeah, I missed the other important words that go with this. Now, see, we don't have the information of the battle itself. This is going into the promised land, so this has to start a new one here. Okay, I think I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back later today. My hands are sore right now, which is